And we have Wayne Nelson from Little River Band on the line, who's a big Count Chocula fan, I know.
Actually, I was a Fruit Loops fan. I have to admit it.
Okay, yeah. The thing I didn't like about Fruit Loops, though, was the color of the milk when it was done. I was off-put by that. It was too swirly.
That was the deal.
Yeah.
The colored milk.
Yeah. And if I'd had a buzz when I was looking, I might have been more into it. But look, we already sort of we have Wayne Nelson from Little River Band on here, and we've already sort of let the cat out of the bag, buying ourselves some time while we did some technical things, and we did roll a couple of new LRB songs.
We did.
And stole your thunder a little bit because the whole thing was Wayne has all this exciting news about LRB, but you can still tell us about it.
And I will. Where do you want me to start?
But the first question that comes to mind, we've gone through a couple of tracks, and my first reaction to it is it's right in the pocket. It's right where Little River Band lives and needs to be. The songs are fantastic. The production is great. But the new music thing right now where nobody's really selling anything, I did have, what was your impetus for wanting to get a new LRB record out after what, like almost 30 years or?
Well, with label support, 25 years.
That's true.
We've been making new music all along the way since I went back to the band in 2000. As a matter of fact, that was the reason that I decided I'd had enough, because we were, the older members didn't want to do new music. So
right.
Which to me was, whether it ever charted or hit or whatever, it's what we're supposed to be doing.
Sure. And you guys did a Christmas CD during that period too, I do believe. I remember that one.
We did, and this new one, Cuts Like a Diamond, is the 5th CD including the Christmas CD of, brand new projects, to keep the ball rolling and
cool.
keep the plumbing flushed out, if you will. We're musicians. That's what we're supposed to do. But the new one, so good place to start. The new one is with a record label from Italy called Frontiers.
We love them.
And they came to us. They came to us and said, we don't want the typical...
give us your entire back catalog. Yeah.
Yeah, include 3 or 4 hits to make sure that people go and buy. There are so many of those out there, some of them authorized and some of them not.
Right.
They wanted new material. And we were, as writers and whatever, we were getting itchy to do that. Anyway, so the timing was good. And then the question comes up, well, Little River Band has covered a wide scope of material. And so I didn't really want to take on the scope of a new worldwide release with a label and artwork and promotions and marketing and so on and so forth, unless they were going to be as emotionally attached to it and proud of it as we would be. So I allowed them to have a say and have a big voice, actually, in the choice of songs.
Did I put echo on you just then? I heard you hesitate.
I'm sorry, say that again?
Did I give you echo there? All of a sudden, you're not hearing yourself feed back through, are you?
No, I'm not.
Okay, I'm experimenting with levels, and I heard you hesitate. I was like, oh, I hope I didn't throw him into echo. Please turn down your radio, sir. That kind of thing.
Well, that's not echo. That's well, I can't use the actual word. What people brain? It's a brain something.
You can use whatever word you want.
We're no longer ruled by the
on the internet. It's a brain fart.
Yeah. Screw the FCC.
In your moment. But it was a long process, and there were frustrating moments trying to translate to Italians why I felt good about a song and couldn't understand why they didn't. But
okay.
I told them I want to be the first filter on it. If you want me to be singing lead, which they did, and you want us to sound like something, you've got this vision of it being right in the pocket, like you say, of Little River Band, and 80s and obviously vocals and guitar harmonies and so on and so forth. But there's once you define that, there's still a wide range of styles that could fit that mold. I said,
oh, good grief, yeah.
I'll tell you what I like. I'll tell you what I feel I can sing well and what I feel good about the storyline for the song. And from there, then you be the final filter. And you say, this fits our idea of what we think the band should be doing in its 38th year. And together we came up, we had a long list of 20 songs. Then we narrowed it down, and we cut 13, and 11 made the CD. And to a person, everybody's been saying the same thing. It fits. We've got 3 of the songs in the live set, and people are reacting to it. Sounds like Little River.
Yeah. Oh, it really does. And we love front.
That's what we were hoping for. And you and I started talking a long time ago about the old versus the new.
Right.
And what was the real story, and do we move forward, and or do we not, and why, and all of that, controversy. This has kind of put that fire out. A lot of people, we're just talking about, obviously there's a history, we talk about it a little bit, but everybody's going, no, the music sounds like a step forward, and it's the new material from Little River Band. It fits perfectly, and so on we go, and then it's
and I
so
tell you, and I'm right in your target demographic. Sue and I both probably mid-40s. We want new music from classic acts. We had Peter Beckett on it was almost a year ago now. They're on Frontiers Records too. Player got a deal with them, and I think they're handling Journey and I want to say Night Ranger, Lover Boy, but it's really weird right now. Frontiers Records has this really synergistic relationship with. Are you familiar with the website melodicrock.com?
Yes.
Yeah, I figured you would be because, like I said, they're big LRB guys on there too. But they seem to be like the only company out there that, and Peter Beckett pretty much told the same story. Of course, Peter Beckett's a pretty prolific writer himself, but they didn't force outside writers on him, and when you listen to it, it sounds just like great, well constructed pop song craft to sound like Player. And I mean, that's what we want. We don't necessarily want a new Kiss record that sounds like Seven Dust or something, or something trendy. Although I did catch just a taste of auto-tune there at the beginning of Lost and the Lonely. Am I right?
It's interesting. A lot of people are saying, why did you bother to do that? And I am, first of all, we're old school. But the other thing about the way we make records, and we always have, if we don't get it right, we go back and sing it again. There's no auto-tune anywhere. That is the product of us singing in the studio together, and over the course of now almost 9 years now, this lineup has been together. We know the zone, we know the keys to sing in, and it's it's second nature.
No, I don't mean the background vocal sound processed by auto-tune. I mean, it was just like at the very front of that song, auto-tune was used as an effect, more like not to fix something, but to make it sound kind of contemporary or something. I thought I picked up just a touch of it at the front end of that track.
In the lead, I'm curious why, because it was never.
Really?
It's not a part of the record at all.
How about that?
Where did you hear that? Is it in the lead vocal?
It was on the YouTube video that you sent me for Lost and Lonely. It's like I said, just when it was first opened up, I was like, did the record company make them put auto-tune on there to make it sound a little but if it's on there, it was really well done because it was just a little bit at the beginning, or that could have been the acid wearing off, dude. I admit.
Oh, come on.
Maybe I thought
it was an effect of acid wearing off, but
yeah, it is these days.
But honestly, that there is an effect that happens when voices. Obviously, you can hear when a machine is doing it to a voice, and it has that artificial thing up on top, and you can hear that the intervals they don't sound natural and whatever. But when it happens naturally over the years, I call it a ping. It's people can sing together and it can sound good and organic and so on and so forth. But when people sing together and they all go for it and their voices create overtones, that's when, to me, the vocal group is pinging, and that's what Little River Band has always been about. And
absolutely. I remember this appearance that you guys did on a talk show in the mid-'80s, I'd say, and you guys basically on the soundstage with just a couple of guitars and something to beat on did Man on Your Mind, I think, or it was Farnham was in the band though at the time. I can't remember which one you did, but and I was like, kids, this is how it's done. There's no auto-tune on this. These guys are on a talk show soundstage, and you made it sound amazing. I can't remember.
Well, and there again, that's and nothing against all of the lineups, because over the years there have been 4 or 5 different combinations of people who got the concept and sang that way, where you're all singing lead vocal, you're just singing your part.
Yeah.
Everybody's singing at the same time. But Farnham's voice in the band happened to create it very naturally, because what happened when John came in the band, his voice is in the atmosphere. So I was singing at the top of my range, singing the low part.
Yeah.
John was singing the top of his range, singing the middle part, and Graham was singing in the clouds,
right,
singing the high part. When that happens, those overtones that I'm talking about and the ping factor, when you nail them, it's like a knife. It cuts, or cuts like a diamond, dare I say.
There you go.
Anyway,
we did hear that too.
See how I did that? See
Yeah, I like that.
But anyway, another reviewer said, "Gosh, it's a shame they had to resort to auto-tune," and I'm just like, I really want to call him back up and say,
yeah,
where did you hear it or what? Because it on my newly arrived grandson's head, I swear, auto-tune was not used on the CD. That's the way
amazing.
We sing and craft things together. We wait for the ping, and when we know we've got it, that's when we stop.
Yeah, you get that frequency pull. So speaking of writing, though, I mean, how much did I saw? There's at least a couple tracks that you wrote, and I don't really know. I mean, take me back into the earlier era of Little River Band. Were you able to write in that environment where everybody was fighting to get songs on a record, or is this your early attempt at writing?
My first, I was pretty lucky with the first things that I wrote for the band were for Playing to Win, and both of them got recorded.
Awesome.
After that came No Rains, and I had 3 songs on there that I had written. So in the course of writing for the band, my stuff has been accepted, but I've never been prolific like a Beckett who will sit down and crank out 8, 10, 12 songs for a CD. But given the parameters for the new record, and where we are in the history of the band, whatever, we toured in New Zealand, and everybody else was sightseeing and rafting and zip lining and so on and so forth. And I said, we had 3 shows over the course of 10 days, and I said, when we're not working, I will be in my room with a pad and a pencil and an acoustic guitar. So, unfortunately, the record label didn't like very much of what I did at all. Well, it's no wonder.
I think I drunk dialed you on that tour. Was that just a couple years ago, like last winter ago?
As a matter of fact, you did. It was February.
Yeah, of 12. Oh, that was a really dark period for me, dude. I so apologize.
Not a problem at all.
Oh,
Not
gosh.
a problem at all.
Now you need to have my number so I can drunk dial you. Oh, my goodness.
After we're off the air.
Yeah, okay.
There you go.
But anyway, out of the stuff that I wrote, they took one of them. There's a lot of other songs that they didn't take, so the solo album is looking in pretty good shape now.
Good.
But one song that I went to bat for was Who Speaks for Me, because it's something that's been a passion of mine for years, some way to break the cycle of domestic abuse that gets passed on, and then kids end up being abusers later on. And I just, again, truly, I am not prolific. That song downloaded itself to me in about 45 minutes. I just suddenly saw the chaos through the kids, through the eyes of the kid, and the whole story just laid out in front of me. I mean, I can see the house, I can see the driveway. It was just all there. So I felt strongly about making a stand for that song, and in the end, they went, if you feel that strongly about it, then yeah, we'll put that on there, and we're set. So
nice.
Yeah, well, I noticed that I was going to ask you about the song "Lost and Lonely," and you sent me that video today. And one of the things that I noticed right away was, it's supporting the troops, and it's a very upbeat, positive song, but it doesn't like beat you over the head with like a Fox News mallet. I mean, I think it's going to fly right. I think everybody can find something to like in there without it turning into a partisan pissing contest.
No, not at all.
Well, absolutely, and over the course of the last few years, well, way too many years, we've always acknowledged the effort that people were making to keep us free enough to be able to have concerts and do what we do, and it's a great price and sacrifice that they pay, and there's nothing political about it. Whether they went there and you agree with it or not, they're there and they're being shot at, and you're not.
Yeah.
So if you can't see the the sacrifice in that, then you're blind. and I understand protesting for peace on a political basis too. I get it. I used to be a hippie and wore a green coat, you know. But this song was something that came to us, and first of all, we knew it was a Little River Band chorus that we could chew on. There was no question about that.
Oh yeah.
But the verses were a little darker than they are now, and there was a definite disconnect between the message, the uplifting feel you get from the chorus, and then got to the verse, and it was very, very...
yeah, I struggle. I actually write songs like that, and I struggle with songs that it's like really dark verse and then a really poppy, bright chorus, and then you just look at it, it's like, what does the song want to be?
Yeah, what does it want to be? And that's what it's kind of exactly the way I put it. But the Nashville writers were... I went back to them and I said, could the story be uplifting about that issue as opposed to... basically depressing, about the return of soldiers and injuries and so on and so forth. And they came back with the young person making the choice and telling Mom, Dad, this is what I got to do. I know it's dangerous. I don't want you to cry. I don't want you to worry. I have to do this, and this is the way it's going to be. And that's going on around the planet. And again, it's not political. It is a choice that needs to be made for the people that are lost and lonely and can't stand up and do it for themselves.
Well,
and unfortunately, the world is full of it, and it's just everywhere. So we aren't trying to, we're not trying to jump on a bandwagon. We're trying to point out it's a huge commitment. It's a huge effort to get physically ready to go do that. And,
no doubt.
So many people just kind of want to ignore it and take it for granted, and we don't want that to happen.
Now, you're the other thing I thought that was pretty interesting about the song too is even though it works "Pray for the Lost and the Lonely," it doesn't feel like it's beating you over the head with it. It's very open-ended. It could be anybody's religion or however anybody prays. It doesn't. But there will be people on the right-wing side that'll see that video and they'll only hear what they want to hear, and they're thinking it's a it's a big gung-ho. I know you're not really a super right-wing guy. You're more middle left as far as I can recall, but. They could adopt it as their thing, support the troops, or unless you hate freedom. But we all
there's no question. But if somebody talks to somebody, and if you're an absolute complete atheist, then maybe you pray to your atheist friends.
Sure.
That this stuff stops. I don't know. And you're right. If people hear what they want to hear and they make what they want to make out of it. I mean,
it's the beauty of songwriting, really.
A dramatic example of that is Happy Anniversary, and how many people want us to play it because they're having their 45th anniversary that night. And I'm going, have you ever listened to the words?
Exactly.
It's not a happy little song.
You know what I mean? It's like crazy. But nevertheless, the song as a whole, if you just stop, if you don't parse it and you feel it as an event, that's the way I started looking at it. It as the song's big picture.
Yeah.
It's striking, and I am exactly politically where you said, but yet I still see the positive in trying to evoke praise.
Sure.
For that effort and that sacrifice, and that's really what it's about. I'm not trying to send people to church or run for Republican representative of my district in Florida by any means.
I was going to say, where is that in Florida?
When we have Merrill Osmond on here, he claims to be able to heal people, including himself. I'm just saying.
What does that have to do with anything?
I'm just saying,
Oh, come on, Alan.
Whatever he's drinking, I hope he shares with all.
Yeah. No, he's not drinking any. Mormons are strict. He drinks milk.
I just got done watching the video for The Lost and the Lonely, dedicated to the troops, of course. There's a lot of live footage from concerts from that put together. You guys are doing a lot of touring still.
Sexy stubble, too, Wayne. Sexy stubble.
You got to have the stubble.
We are indeed doing a lot of touring. And to be honest, the addition of the CD hasn't really had an impact on that yet, because we're already doing, close to 85 shows a year.
Yeah.
Sure, yeah.
That's a healthy schedule compared to, what has happened to a lot of other bands as the economy took a nosedive and is now, recovering, but slowly.
Mm-hmm.
bands call our agency all the time and go, "We're doing 30, they're doing 90. What's the deal here? Can you get us that kind of work?" And Steve said, "No, they've been doing it nonstop for 38 years, and the show is great. I'll do whatever I can for you, but you can't expect an overnight,
the show,
result."
and the show is great. You'll be here in our neck of the woods in January, so I'm trying to talk
Ram's
Alan
Head?
into getting some
Ram's
tickets.
Head.
Yep.
Ram's Head is such a great place. I love it. Absolutely love it.
I should be able to agree with you because we were on our way to see Lou Gramm last December. Our friend Lou Gramm, who's been on our show, we were going to hang with him the whole nine. Lou Gramm. And then I got a freaking flat tire on a brand new Jaguar on the way there. And
No.
Yes.
yes.
And it was pouring down rain.
Yeah, and I was stressing out. And we had to eat the tickets. We never met Lou Gramm. And then I found out that later that I actually have some kind of coverage with this car, that somebody would have come and picked me up, clipped my toenails, and then took us directly
It's
to
a
the
Jaguar.
gig. Yeah.
Come on.
So
what
we-
did you
yeah.
expect? I was like, call somebody.
So yeah, we were like just close to hanging with a legend.
Oh well.
But we'll hang with you guys.
Yeah, we'll come out in January.
You can hang with us. We're semi legendary.
Oh, you're very legendary. I see
I
that
was
you
just-
you're tasting a little YouTube pain like we do sometimes too. There's always I'm just learning now as and it's funny with our interviews. In the old days, we just didn't have this instant on, and so maybe a critic might take a shot at your record or something. But now there's all these people out there in the peanut gallery that want to come in and say something ignorant, because I have songs on there too. And it's just like,
Cyberbullying stuff,
yeah,
you mean?
yeah, it's not nice.
Don't even let that.
Yeah.
Don't let that get you
know
down.
what? They've been taking pot shots for years and years and years, and there's really only one answer. Everybody's got an opinion. Opinions are like butts. Everybody's got one.
Yes. You could have said it the other way.
What are you gonna do? You
Exactly.
do the best you can, and whatever. The only great thing about Facebook and YouTube and whatever is you do have a little bit of control. You can at least monitor and go in and take things down.
Right. Yeah. And
When
then
people get stupid, what are you going to do?
shut off comments is what you have to do.
I just found you on Twitter.
Well, what's fun is they get fighting with each other. That's what's funny. You just step back, and then two rabid little river band fans from different eras will start beating each other. And it's that way with every strong band that has a long history. You'll find that amongst Kiss fans. We'll see Deep Purple fans come to blows of Deep Purple Mark III, no Mark IV, no Mark V. It's like, good grief. Doobie Brothers fans aren't that way, though. They get along. I think it's the Doobie part.
You just no.
You could be absolutely right.
I'm thinking
well,
it's that.
At least Tom came back and, I guess maybe smoothed the waters or whatever. But how do you ignore? See, that's the thing. Okay, you guys, you get your way. And as soon as that one person that you think the whole thing revolves around, you don't know any of the
Right.
politics, you don't know any of the stuff that goes on in the bus or backstage. All you see is this thing out in front of you, and you think that person is the person. And then they leave, or somebody else comes along. Mm-hmm. Where do you draw the line? You and I had this same conversation. How do you draw the line on the Doobie Brothers and eliminate taking it to the street?
I love all the era of Doobie Brothers. That's what I'd say. You go see the Doobies and yeah.
It's music. I like it
Yeah,
all.
I don't see them. They're not. But it's really it's good in a way though for Little River Band to think that there are people out there that passionate, because I think that's what the catalog and the long history of the band certainly helps keep you guys like working year round.
Yeah. Do you
Well,
get time off?
I'm sorry?
I said yes. Do you get time off?
Monday through Wednesday night. That's my weekend.
Okay.
There you go.
Rest of the time's travel. That's not too shabby.
Yeah, and how about those Cowboys? Damn it! You know what else I can say on the air now?
You can.
I can so.
You got the button.
Wayne's a smart guy.
Yeah.
But no, your Cowboys,
Going on there.
atop of the East, bastards.
I gotta say that I bitter pill today. I mean, I got friends on the bus that are Redskin fans, and
Yeah.
I feel bad for
Detroit
them. How
hadn't-
about being a giant?
Yeah, that's
fan?
really bad. Yeah, they got waxed by
wow.
Carolina. But I mean, Detroit hadn't beaten us at home since 1931 or something. It was
Are you
real.
serious?
Yeah, they have beat
Why?
the Redskins.
How did we get into football?
Because Wayne is a cow. I told him you were an Eagles fan and he's a Cowboys fan. Because what I was going to lead into is 2 weeks ago he was supposed to be on our show, and we love this the regular rock star moment.
Yeah.
But he decided to have a football party instead, and to make it even funnier, he didn't tell his wife and invited a whole bunch of people over to the house. So she
You had
made
a party without the wife knowing?
She made him help get the house ready, and I love that.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, I was once I made the announcement. I couldn't bail on it at that point. I
No.
had many chores to do that Sunday.
Awesome.
But,
It's like
Well,
rock
you
stars are
should.
just like us.
I had my plan worked. We pulled one out against the Giants, and I had all these Giant fans in the room, like, you know.
My plan worked. My evil
following
plan
my
worked.
general direction. It was a very sweet
It's
victory.
Well, Wayne, tell the kids at home where we can pick up. I've seen it on Amazon. Is it iTunes? Is it everywhere? The new CD.
Amazon and iTunes. It's not everywhere. This is not a Frontier's. Great people, great support. They're doing what they can, but they don't have, skyscrapers like Capitol Records and.
They're not pushing into
Virgin
Best
and so on
Buy
so
and
forth.
Walmart and stuff. But I mean,
It's not though. Actually, it's in a cool place. It's called FYE. Do you know FYE for your
Yeah.
energy?
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So that's the retailer that's carrying it.
Awesome. That's a
FYE
big-
online has it, and then of course Amazon, iTunes, Target, and LittleRiverband.com. You can find it
Awesome.
there and links to all the stuff there. Keep an eye on the Facebook page, and like I heard her say in the background that she just found us on Twitter.
Well,
So
I should
all of
say
those,
I
all of
just-
those little networky things are up and running. So
Yeah.
Sue's-
I've had Twitter for a few years.
Yeah,
I
Sue's
just
Twitter.
started getting into it to really get all the news, and it's all like
She's Twitter savvy.
music.
We haven't put the show on Twitter too much because we figure people
No.
our age that listen to our show, they're not really Twitter. I know I struggle with
There's
Twitter.
still people that.
I hear you. So did I. I
don't
actually
get
have
it.
someone else that
There you go.
has set the whole thing up, and I know that it works because I never log out, and I just go.
That's
back
what I
in.
need.
There you go.
Once it works, I leave it alone.
Exactly.
All right,
That's
well,
what mine is.
Wayne, we're gonna jump into some commercials here. I can see my GM messaging me. It's like we're over. So we're not quite as free here in internet radio as we think we are.
We
But
do
look,
have a
dude,
boss.
we still do. It sucks. But look, we're
Hi, Kevin.
We'll maybe touch base with you again a little closer to January if you want to pimp out the Ramshead show.
You got it.
Ramshead and American
and-
Music Theater up in Lancaster is the following evening with the
Awesome.
Pure Prairie League. So
Oh, wonderful.
yeah, that's my old neck of the woods. Yes, check the tires.
Oh,
Did you just
I dropped Wayne. Damn it. All right, kids, we're going to go right
He
into
said
commercial.
check the tires before we get going.
and then we'll
I'm gonna
call them
jag you
back.
off.
Sorry, kids. We're going to pay some bills. Come right back with all your favorite 70s music. We are
The original 70s soundtrack on the U-Rock
And now,
Radio Network.
back to the
What are you
original
doing?
70s soundtrack.